If you're a Texas landowner and you're interested in improving the quality of the genetics on your ranch, you can contact me at deerandwildlifestories.com. As a deer hunter, I want to know all I can about America's favorite big game animal. That's why I became a deer farmer. Without deer farms, we lose our greatest resource for research and whitetail management. With them, we gain more knowledge than ever before. Join me as we discover the truth about whitetails and meet those who work every day to preserve this great species for future generations. My name is Keith Warren, and this is Deer and Wildlife Stories. You know, I've been around thousands of white-tailed deer on these farms, and I never, ever get tired of being around them. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show into southwestern Missouri, where today we're going to tell you about Bowman's Xtreme Whitetails.
We've been in the deer business about 18 months. We have about 200 deer. That includes bucks, does, fawns, and still growing. It's the second week of August. We're just about to wrap up all of our bottle feeding, but we had 2 fawns yesterday. We're going to go inside and tag them.
All right, let's go ahead and get this show started. All right, it's bottle feeding time.
Come on in.
Nice. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, look at that. How old are they?
Just a day old.
A day old. Mm-hmm. What's your name?
I'm Sarah.
Sarah, I'm Keith.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. They're a day old, huh?
Day old, beautiful.
How cute is that? All right, so when is your AI date?
Around October 31st.
Okay, so that means babies are definitely going to be on the ground by the 10th of May.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and here it is beginning the second week of August, and you got new babies on the ground. Tell everybody why and why you're bottle raising these.
Well, the reason is we AI'd this doe and she didn't take the AI. She got backed up late because my buck was in with quite a few does. We pulled these fawns off because we're going to let the mama dry up and put her back in the EIA program. So we're bottle raising these fawns late in the year.
That's a smart thing to point out too. If a doe is if you're bottle feeding a fawn, you get it off the doe, that doe's going to come back quicker, get ready for breeding a lot easier than if you stress her by raising babies. So that's the reason for this whole deal. Right now we're going to tag these fawns, show you what that's all about.
Right.
Okay, these are new fawns that we're getting ready to tag. Okay, first thing we do is make sure they're sex, because we put our new tags on the fawns. Girls get it on the right, boys get it on the left. So we spray a little bit of iodine on the tag so that, just to kind of disinfect it a little bit. Usually they squeal a little bit, but it doesn't really hurt them to tag them. That's it.
Inside's my ranch manager, Mikey Soto, and our intern, Sarah. They're in there tagging some fawns. When they get done with that, they're gonna go outside and do some bottle feeding.
This is the most exciting part, definitely, because you can see how crazy they get over this milk.
Well, the reason we bottle feed is to keep these fawns good and calm. They're going to be our breeders in the future. We want to keep them as stress-free as possible.
We handle our deer a lot throughout the year, so we bottle feed so that they're more used to humans, and overall, less stressful deer and more healthier deer. So we strive on making sure our deer have the best life they can have. So
If you'd like more information on Bowman's Xtreme Whitetails, give me a call at 407-733-9969.
The Deer Farming Channel is brought to you in part by Record Rack Deer and Elk Feeds.
Well, the reason I got in the deer business is because I love whitetails. I've been a hunter all my life, and I enjoy seeing them monsters raised.
All right, David, so who are these guys?
These are some of our pasture bucks.
Wow. And ages on them, they look,
2, 3,
okay.
got a 4-year-old in there.
Wow. Some nice looking deer.
Thanks.
And folks, for a guy that's only been deer farming for 18 months, I mean, you may be wondering, how's he got some deer that are 2, 3, and 4 years old? You know, I mean, you bought them.
I bought them,
I mean,
sure.
That's what you have to do. When you get in the deer business,
Yeah.
what you're doing, you got to get them from somebody. And now what's happening is that David Bowman is actually setting up people in the deer business. And so when people are interested in getting in it, you just don't go to the deer store. I mean, come on, give me a break. You know, here's
Yeah.
David Bowman. Okay, and so if you're in Missouri, I mean, he can set you up. But so you wound up, you bought these deer, and I know that now you've got 2 sets of fawns or 2 years worth of fawns on the ground.
Right.
Okay, from your 18 months here. But I look at these guys and go, you've got one of them out there is just huge, and that's a pasture deer?
Oh, yeah.
Why is he a pasture deer?
Well, he don't have the greatest of pedigree. He just happens to be a giant deer.
All right, so he's going to get released as a pasture deer. And
Right.
the purpose in that, folks, if you're looking at that big old deer and you're wondering why in the world would somebody release him in the pasture, it's because it's genetics. Okay, you know, David just said that, you know, he may not have the best pedigree, but clearly he's got a pedigree big enough to, to grow, what do you think, 450?
Oh, he's over 500,
I mean,
yeah.
500 inches. I mean,
Yeah.
look at him. And in the deer industry, it's really important to point out that pedigree is everything. Yeah. I mean, pedigree is everything. That's the reason why we have the North American Deer Registry. So every deer on the farm is registered.
You're right.
Okay, and so what happens when you come buy a deer, no matter if you buy one here at David's or you buy one anywhere, make sure you buy one that's in the North American Deer Registry. It is that. It's like I call it the holy grail for our industry.
Sure.
I mean, it keeps honest people honest. And so that deer right there is going to get released in somebody's pasture for genetics. And same with all these guys?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but there's one guy in here that he's kind of funky looking. I mean, he looks like he's been cut off. What's the deal there?
Well, he's a 3-year-old. He was over 500 inches, and we had to cut him a couple weeks ago.
Really?
He was so big, yeah.
Well, I bet he's liking that. Holy smokes. So let me ask you this. How much longer do you think these deer have to grow? I mean, here it is, the beginning of the 2nd week of August. What do you think? They got another week or 2 to go?
A few of them do. They're still bulbed up, yeah.
And what he's talking about it being bulbed up, you can look at the tips of the antlers, and some of them are more rounded than others. And it's that rounded, bulbed up point that he's talking about. So when they finish up, and when these deer start finishing up and drying up, they actually get more pointed. And there's some deer in here that you can look at and they're a little bit more pointed. So they're in the velvet now, and but most of them are just about done.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got how many bucks in here?
What do we got? 19?
I guess 19 between this pin and that pin right there.
Yeah.
And this is nice. Now, do you have some yearlings on the ground?
Oh, yes. We got some yearlings. They're not huge, but they're nice yearlings out of really good genetics. So
Okay,
we're looking forward to them.
What we're going to do, we're going to show you the yearlings here in a second. And one thing I want to point out is you're looking at these deer, and we're talking about the deer industry. I will tell you something that I learned a long time ago. We've been doing this 18 months. I learned never, if you have a deer in the North American Deer Registry, he's got great blood, he's a good deer, don't ever judge a deer, count him out if he's not a big yearling. Never.
Right.
Because I have had some yearlings that are like this, they grow up to be 2-year-olds like this.
Oh, yeah.
And so what we're going to do now, we're going to say goodbye to these guys. These are pretty nice pasture deer right here. Let me ask you this, somebody want more information and on your deer coming out here to make a deer farm visit, give them a telephone number.
Give me a call at 407-733-9969.
And he is located in the southwestern corner of Missouri. How far out of Springfield?
About 45 minutes northeast of Springfield.
Okay.
Yep.
And so just give David a call, and right now let's go take a look at those yearlings.
Let's do it.
If you're in Texas and interested in becoming a deer farmer, you can contact me for deer farming franchise opportunities right here in Texas at deerandwildlifestories.com. You know, one thing is, I look at your pens, I think they're so beautiful. I mean, they're big, spacious, you got a lot of shade. I mean, these big, pretty trees, we don't have this kind of stuff down in Texas. And the shade, deer need to have shade. I mean, it keeps them calm, and these deer are nice and calm, and they all yearlings, huh?
Well, all of them but that big boy over there.
I see him now. Doggone, who is that?
That's Danger Zone.
Danger Zone. All right, I've heard of that deer. How old is he?
He's a 5-year-old this year.
5 years old. Okay, wow. Okay, so clearly he wasn't born on the farm.
No.
Okay, so you bought him or brought him in from
Right.
one of the biggest breeders in the country.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say his name. Billy Sage, S&S Whitetail Galore. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say his name.
Yeah.
So when you get in the business, if you want to get in the deer business, you better buy deer from somebody that's got big deer. Okay, and so Danger Zone is a 5-year-old. Tell me his pedigree.
He's a Danger
Shadow.
Shadow Rolex sister.
And that is stout. That is a phenomenal pedigree. And look at him. Now, did you use him to breed?
We used him as a backup buck for all of our AI does.
Okay. Now, the AI does that took, those are the babies that are being bottle raised that are almost weaned right now.
Correct.
Okay, so the ones that didn't take are the ones that he got to service. He got
Oh,
to
yeah.
service some of them.
Oh yeah, quite
Okay,
a few.
so you've got some babies on the ground out of Danger Zone.
Oh yes.
Okay, hey, if somebody wanted to buy a deer, even a fawn, would you sell it? I know I know you're not ready for that question. It's like, I like asking that. Okay, but no, seriously, would you sell a fawn?
Probably not.
You would too. He would. Okay, I'm just telling you, if the price is right, he would. Okay, but virtually everything is for sale on the farm, so you need to get a hold of David. If you got any questions or anything, get a hold of me. I mean, get a hold of David, get a hold of me. You can shoot me an email, I'll be happy to answer them. But I look at these yearlings, okay? That is a beautiful yearling right there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And all of them were born on the farm, right?
Correct.
Okay, so every single yearling that you have was born on the farm. You didn't buy any of them.
No.
Okay, but I'm looking at him going, you know what? He's beautiful. There's another one right there is pretty, but you've got some that I call them knotheads. I mean, they really are. I mean, I call them knotheads on my place. I mean, you know,
Oh, yeah.
these guys just like, what in the world happened? They should be bigger.
Yeah.
But they're just not. They just didn't come on like these other deer. And I think as a deer hunter, we were always told that if you see a spike in the woods, I mean, shoot it, because it's going to likely always be a spike. We know now as a deer breeder that is not true. These young deer, these have got all phenomenal pedigrees. All of them in the registry.
Oh yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they've got pedigree as long as your leg.
Oh yeah.
And so genetically, they all have what it takes to grow into a danger zone.
Oh yeah.
Okay, no doubt. But what happens a lot of times is deer, they may be a late born fawn, and so they don't have time to mature during that first year. They may wind up getting a tummy ache. They may have something wrong. They may be nutritionally stressed, or they may be stressed in some other way where they just didn't develop antlers like some of these good ones. I mean, you've got some really nice yearlings in here. Mm-hmm. But you know, then again, these other ones, I mean, don't count them out, because I've been to places before as yearling pens. I look at them and go, and I come back at 2 years old and go, I mean, it's like, where'd they come from?
Right.
Same deer.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, if somebody wants more information, to come out here, take a farm tour, to get schooled on how to get involved in deer farming,
Right.
or to buy deer from you.
Yeah.
Okay, give them a telephone number.
Well, my number is 407-733-9969. My ranch manager, Mikey's number is 417-664-7794.
And what we're going to do right now, I want you to show me another pen of yearlings, okay? Because I know you got them.
Oh yeah.
And I know you're proud of them, so
Yeah.
let's head on over there and take a look at them.
Let's do it.
The Deer Farming Channel is brought to you in part by New Dart, leading the industry in accuracy.
All right, I just got done feeding them, so now I'm going to walk around the pen, check all the deer, make sure everyone's looking healthy and everything, and then also make sure I check on the baby fawns who are in here also. Everyone's looking good this morning. The third one's right down there, and everyone's hopping up, moving around, so everyone looks good in this pen.
My wife and I live in Tennessee, and deer farms here in Missouri. It's a 7-hour drive each way. It creates a few challenges, but it's all worth it. Mikey Soto is my ranch manager. He runs everything when I'm not around. So needless to say, his phone rings off the wall, me worrying about what's going on over here.
Okay, so all these guys were born in here too. They were born on the farm.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All of them but the big boy over there.
Who is that?
That's All of a Sudden. Triple Crown, Sudden Express, Hardcore Bucky.
You talk about stout.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Now, how old is he?
He's a 3-year-old.
He's only 3?
Yeah, yeah.
Folks, what you're looking at right there, that's a unbelievable deer. I mean, he's got a pedigree that won't stop.
Yeah.
I mean, Triple Crown on top. Triple Crown is a, oh my gosh, he's a beautiful deer. And I mean, and lots of people believe that. That deer's got some value right there. So again, he's in the registry. And do you have the NADAR certificate on him?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we need to show you a NADAR certificate so you can see exactly what we're talking about as far as how deep and wide the pedigree on that deer is. And that's the reason why he's valuable. But at the same time too, these other deer have got that same pedigree with different animals plugged into it, and they're all good animals. So, you know, I'm looking at them and go, that one right there, that's a nice yearling.
Oh yeah.
That's very nice. I mean, he's pretty.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, these deer, they're gonna get hard antlered here pretty quick. I mean, the next 30 to 45 days. What are you gonna do with the bucks? Are you gonna cut their antlers off?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All of them?
We'll cut all the yearlings and the big boys in these pens, yeah.
Okay, and the reason for that, folks, is so they don't hurt each other. I mean, but what's going on is as soon as that velvet comes off their antlers, their testosterone goes to the roof, and they get some kind of mad, some kind of quick. And all of a sudden, they're like arch enemies to each other. And if you don't take that headgear off, I mean, they could really hurt themselves. You know, deer, I mean, you look at them now, and you think, oh, they're nice and gentle and stuff. No, these weren't bottle raised, were they?
No.
But the reason why they're nice and gentle is because Mikey spends a lot of time in here. And that's the one thing that that you can tell when you go to a deer farm by looking at the deer. If the farmer's deer are wild and going all over the place all the time, you can tell one thing for sure: he's not spending much time with them. But that is not the case right here. And the reason why, I mean, from Mikey sitting underneath the tree with the babies after they've been bottle fed, and Sarah loving on them. I mean, these deer have a very good life because I mean, a lot of time has been spent with them.
Oh yeah.
All right, so if somebody wants more information on what you're doing out here, give them a telephone number.
Give me a call at 407-733-9969.
And let me ask you this. If somebody is out there watching, they just are kind of curious about deer farming. They live in Missouri and they're kind of curious about it. Could they give you a call and come out and take a look?
Give me a call. If I'm not around, I'll get a hold of Mikey and they can come out and take a look.
And that's the biggest thing I would encourage you to do. You know, if you're looking to get in the deer farming industry, realize that deer farmers will help you. And if you're going to get into the industry, you've got to figure out where in the world you're going to get your deer from. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's the reason why we do this program, to show you the different deer. You know, you got danger zone and all of a sudden and all these big deer. And it's like, how do you find the place where you want to get your deer from? The way you find them is you visit deer farms and you meet people like David Bowman. And you get to know them, because in the deer farming industry, what I think is really cool about it is that, yes, we're all competitors,
right?
But we're helping each other out too.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's people, to this day, I call up and ask questions about, because I'm still learning.
That's right, and you know what, and I'm still learning. I've raised thousands and thousands of deer, and I think all of us are still learning in the deer industry. So the big piece of advice that I'd give you, if you're interested in getting into deer farming, is visit a deer farm.
Oh yeah.